Hey, what's up everybody? Tim Reset from eMiniMind. Looking at the Euro this morning, looking to take a short at 35.65 with a 15-minute setup trade, and we've since just briefly come off that level. So we're looking for an entry here at 35.65, and if we can get a fill, you'll see the actual 50 is 66, but I put my order in front by by one tick rather. So there's our fill, and I'm going to use the first target of plus. Oh, that was weird. First target of +4. Looks like it gave me a better. Looks like it filled me at 64 instead of 65. So that's strange. Anyways, we're going to use a first target of +4, 35.60. The second target we'll use 35.55, which is actually rather tight, but that would be the micro target, 35.55, and then the final target we'll use the 15-minute down below, which would be down at 34.85, and we'll front run that by 4. So we'll just move that down here for now. So you'll notice that once we get that first target hit, my stop's going to go to -4, and that'll reduce my risk on the trade if we can get this 35.60 hit. So this 35.55, usually I use the first micro target right here as that second target. This one's pretty small. We'll see how fast we move through the 35.60 if we do. But one of the other things you can do, this line down here, this is just the opposing 15-minute. So I'm looking at looking to see if we pause there or if we rip through. And today is November 15th. It's just about 9 o'clock Central Time. So pretty slow trade so far today. Down here is just a daily chart, so you'll see we're in a pretty big bearish setup on the daily. So we're looking for that to continue. So okay, so there's that first target hit. My stop moved to -4. There's a little funkiness with the orders here. First target was hit. I usually use 50. That micro target front run by 2. Just gonna put it at the target, and then I'll drag it up if it pauses there. And then other than that, it's just letting the trade work and trailing your stop as we go to lock in profits. So once we start moving away, if we do start to move away, we'll continue. We'll trail the stop. From the onset. Let's see. So 3 contracts would be risking 300, and then this reduces my risk down to risking $50. So just by taking that profit on that first target and tightening my stop, that really helps to limit my reduce my risk on the trade. So we'll trail here. There's really not a whole lot going on in terms of news this morning. We have business inventories at 9, which could move the markets. It may not. We'll see. But since we're already in and we already got that first target hit, we're just going to let the trade work itself out and not get antsy or anticipate anything here, because anything can happen. So And okay, so down here is my P&L. I use ticks instead of dollars. This is the Euro 6E, so each tick is $12.50. And that's just a personal preference thing. You can change that in your platform. This is the Infinity Futures Dome, and then the Thinkorswim charts. I have videos on how to set up all of these charts and how I set my orders and things like that on the YouTube channel, as well as the E-mini Mind blog. So you can check those out, and if you have questions, you can always shoot me an email or drop a comment on the blog as well. Just making a couple notes here on my notepad. As we go through the trade, I like to make some notes about how the trade's working and things like that. Monitor my, especially when I first started, I have notebooks and notebooks filled with, how am I feeling during the trade? What kind of thoughts are going through my head? I'm going to go ahead and just bring my stop down to -2 now since we broke this little swing low here. You'll see we touched 55, and that was a first target signal. Since it was so small, I was just kind of letting it go down through. And now, as we come down through 53, I'm just going to bring it up just a bit. So we got that first target hit at the micro. This is the -23% line, and I am going to just trail my stop on the next series of micros here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my stop at break even. A little tight, but it's kind of a slow day, so I don't want to just be sitting here and giving back profits. So this would be the next micro. We would expect it to trade up to 35.60 and then sell off, or else continue down through the opposing here. So you'll see this is the bigger 15-minute that we traded at. So if we draw the full, just to keep an eye, oops, $35.63 would also be a spot to sellers may come back in. And just flipping over, throwing some orders out here on the ES as well. And we're going to pull this order down and just move it out of the way here. We're going to look for a pause here at 35.43. We'll just continue to trail our stop down through the opposing here. This is the long setup. The lows down here. I'll just go ahead and mark that. So the lows down at 35.11. If we can break that, then we can get down to 34.85, which would be our target for the trade. So a little slow this morning. We'll just kind of let it work and let itself work out. We've already locked in 16 ticks. So worst case scenario, we're up $200. So these really small trades, they can add up. A couple $100 on setups that may not go all the way to their target, that can really add up over time. So over the course of the day. So, but if you get some of these that run, and run all the way to their target. So we have 50, we're in at about 35.65, and a target down at 34.85. So, 80 pip target on the trade if we can make it down there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pause the video since it's a little bit quiet, and I don't want to spend too much time just sitting here. But I'll go ahead and resume once we get moving here on the euro. So I'll be back. Alright, so I've got my stop at 55. We came down to the opposing, so that's why I tightened it down to the next micro, and it looks like we're about to get taken out. But sometimes they come 1 or 2 pips away and then fall. So I don't mind tightening it when we're down at the opposing, especially on a day that's choppy like this, because we could trade off this opposing and then go right into a series of longs, rather than leaving my stop up here above the full at 35.65 at my entry. I'm fine with tightening my stop. My entry 35.65, my stops 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pips away to lock in some additional profits, and then you'll see, we already did sell off from that point as well. So we'll just continue to trail micros down through the opposing if we can break it, and if we do, we will continue to go lower through the opposing, and then the next step would be breaking lows, and then breaking lows to that 30. Is our target 34.85? And I like to put my order in front of the actual target by 4, just to give myself a little leeway if we come close and don't break. You can trail through, just continue to trail until the micro series breaks, and sometimes we do blow through targets, through those negative 23% targets. So we'll see in this case how things decide to work out here. But okay, so now we're at the opposing 35.43. We'll look see if we're going to pause or if we're going to break right through. So let's see here. I keep bringing my stop down, even though it is tight. It is locking in profits, and that's the most important thing, because it's how you manage the trade. Once you get in, then it's just a matter of managing the trade, and there's a million different ways, both to enter and then both to manage. So now we're just kind of breaking right through this, so there's not a whole lot there in terms of this opposing. Now we could certainly come all the way halfway back long, but that's just how I like to manage the trade off of the smaller micros. So if we break through and just keep going, which it looks like we're going to do, just going to keep trailing my stop. So I'm going to pause the video again, and I'll come back. And we have 16 locked in, and considerable amount of profits for a trade that really hasn't done a whole lot yet as far as moving to its target. So I'm going to pause the video, and I'll be back. Alright, so one other thing I wanted to mention is you can, since we have all these red candles down, you can trail. This is a 233 tick chart. You can trail above the candle's high. So this last candle was 35.35. You could tighten your stop to 37 and just keep trailing each candle as we go. And if we do make some really fast moving red bearish candles down, that is one thing I will do, because there would usually be a reaction and we wouldn't break until the prior, you'll notice that the prior candle hasn't broken all the way down here. So continuing to trail my stop, but I will tighten it if we start ripping lower through lows and we have these like big red body candles. So let's see, 35, 37, 39. So now it's just a matter of managing the stop until you get taken out or the profit target gets hit. So as we move lower, 30, 50, 32, 33, 34, I think I am going to do that because we are coming down to lows. So the high is 32, and the 34 would be 2 pips above. So we'll probably get taken out at 34s, but that's okay. We just came down and double bottomed here. and 35.24. 30, yeah, 35.25. So that's fine with me if I get taken out at 35.34, because you know, is kind of okay. So there we go, taken out. So now we could retrace all the way back, halfway back. In which case, instead of giving back all of that profit, I can just take profit and then re-enter up here at 35.55. So that is that's one way to enter. If you'd like to hold on to the trade, you can certainly let that profit give itself back, and then you're already in the trade. If you know, we may not get a fill up here. So a couple different ways of managing the trade. You know, 47 on, that was my first trade here of the morning, and I can just show you, you know, 587.50 on, you know, one little trade that really didn't go that far. But it's about how you manage the trade once you're in. So I hope that was helpful. There's a lot more stuff on the blog as far as entries and setups and things like that, and all of those details at emonymine.com. So thanks for watching. Take care.